I'm almost here. I'm almost here. I'll be here soon. Don't worry. I'm just falling behind a little. I'm not late. You're just early. Hi. How are you doing? I'm drinking drinks. Water. There she is for main event. Who else you watching? Show me. I'll beat him up. Hi Clyde, hi Talan. How are you doing? Oh, I'm getting my gloves on. I'm getting my gloves on. Need to go into the attic and get another box of gloves soon. But I hope everyone's having a good day. I finished the Tyranids. The Tyranids, well not all the Tyranids, the ones that we've been painting, the 6 von Ryan Leapers. I also found out I got dry paints. A dry brushing with. How do I put gloves on again? There we go. Here we go. Sometimes the glove just doesn't want to go on. But that's fine. Where are we? Where are we? Handcam, hi! Yeah! Hands, big old hearts to you. Yeah, for Tyranids. Look, they got bases. The bases are all painted. It's like, what? There's bushes there, there's stuff. Look how cool that looks. Yeah! Space Marine versus Tyranid Prime. Dead. Why you let you paint? No, they're called dry paints. Yeah, see, dry, for dry brushing with. Oh, and here's another Tyranid. I did a little bit off stream, outside of a members stream. We based them in the members stream, redid the teeth a little bit. And outside the members stream, I've just been painting them a little more. I've been doing a bit more grey on some of the backs because, you know, I undid it. But I've also been just getting a bit more orangey paint on them. Orange coloured yellows. I think it's helping keep them, make them look nicer. You know. Also, off stream, I did decide I bought some paints. I bought a buttload of, well, not a buttload of them. I bought some technical and dry brushy paints, like Blood for Blood God, which gives like very slick blood colour stuff. Some things that are very good for rust. Also, I accidentally dropped this guy into the iron gut colour. So now, I mean, I think that looks still kind of cool. But other than that, yeah, the teeth might need a bit more work. But I think we can say for finish now. Lol, poor little guy. Yeah. If they look okay, right? They're not too bad. Maybe there's too much going on with the colour scheme. I don't know. I won't be for long. You won't be for long. Well, hello, Longstocks. Thanks for popping in. How you doing? Oh. Maybe they look messy. I don't know. They look good. Thank you. Oh, here's one of my dudes. We're painting him today too. But yeah, here's who we're painting today. All of these guys.
Cuptle does not deserve turtle rights.
Cuptle does deserve Cuptle deserves more than turtle rights. Don't be mean to Cuptle. Cuptle is an important member of our family. Also, be very careful because the mod is very protective of Cuptle. Aren't you, Talan? Look at this guy. He's got this big old missile launcher, but he's still deciding, I'm going to shoot you with my pistol. He's just clowning on you. Ooh, me. Yeah, you're protective of Cuptle. You love Cuptle. We know you don't like Cuptle for some crazy reason, Longstocks. You can't say no to the little guy. Oh, this guy's got a bone on his... He's got a bone to pick with you. No, he's got a bone on his rocket launcher. Oh, so this includes... Big Axe Guy! Oh, yeah, so cool. Love this dude. Turtles control the world. Turtles don't control the world. Cuptle controls the world, not turtles. Not turtles plural. Oh, look at that. He's like, go. Go that direction. And he's like, I will duel you with my big old sword. That's what they want you to think. I love him the same way a woman loves her pepper spray. It's the only thing that's protecting us from society as a whole. What the heck is this? What the heck is this? I don't know. But yeah, we got a bunch of people to paint today. Including this guy who's screaming. So my aim today is I'm just going to test out how these different dry brushes work and how they look. Look at this. I can barely see that. Look at it. It's like cottage cheese in here. Ah, nom 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 nom. Where's my brush? There's my dry brush. There we go. We dry brush. We dry brush. We don't want too much resistance in our brush. We want it fluffy and soft. Hi, TA. How you doing? I'm just washing a brush before I do my dry brushing. Oh my gosh, it's so soft and fluffy. I shouldn't test it on him, I should test it on everybody else. Okay, I think this brush is still a bit too wet. Hi, Poseidon 9. How is everyone doing? Big love farts to all. Oh, have you heard? Black Library, the Warhammer bookstore, basically. Oops, sorry. It has its own app now, or it's getting its own app. Which is pretty cool, I think. Oh, there we go. This looks cool. Oh, this is very cool. I like this. Look at that. Okay, I should probably have less paint on my brush when I'm doing this, mind you. Dry brushing is beautiful. This isn't really proper dry brushing. This is a bit different. I'm going way too heavy. And wet for proper dry brushing, but it's fine. We have 27 models to paint today. They have to be relatively quick. So my goal is dry brush them with this white colour and then take the Black Templar contrast paint and paint over black onto them. Oh gosh, I forgot to do an important step there. That's fine. Yeah. That was a bit too heavy, but it's fine. We're going over with black, so. Poseidon 9. Oh, you changed your picture! How you doing? Just finished a calculus exam? You finished a calculus exam! I hope it went well for you. I found out more about my cat today, for one that's in hospital. Turns out she is, she's still not eating, so I've had to put her on her feeding tube now. But they said that they think she'll get better, it's just a matter of time. Because I went to see her last night after the stream. In the hospital. Well, not in the stream of a hospital. I went to see it in the animal hospital. She She seemed quite lively, actually. She seemed a lot livelier than before we sent her, so that was very good. I updated my profile pic to the one I use in Discord. Nice. So it seems like good news anyway. We still don't know exactly what's wrong with her, but I think she'll be okay. But the thing is, we just can't get her back until she starts eating properly by herself without a feeding tube. And she's just refusing to eat at the moment. Stress of being in hospital is probably not helping her, to be honest. Very expensive though. My goodness. But it's worth it for a little kitty cat. There we go. We need a national animal health service. Here we go. Yeah. We'll try this dude now. In fact, if I just want their raised parts highlighted, so that when put on the contrast paint, it should hopefully look relatively good. I just realised this dude has a tactical rock. Where's your helmet? Oh, his helmet's here. Look at these big old shoulder pads. It looks like something from Overlord anime, doesn't it? Like he's just put Ainzul Gaul on his head. On his shoulder, sorry. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to support this between both fingers so I don't break it when I'm doing this. Might still end up breaking it. Oh gosh, that was way too much. Never realised how much was on the brush then. There we go. Do. Painting. Painting. I should be talking more. I'm sorry. I'm just like getting very involved in just looking at my painting. What's anyone got any cool plans for today? I might be going to see my cats again. I don't know. Probably not, honestly. We got a lot to do. My father wanted to see her, but he works very far away. We won't get home in time to be able to be in visiting hours. It looks like. You gotta love everybody. I love sausages. I love potatoes. What do you think the favourite food of a space marine is? Like, I imagine they don't eat corpse starch, would they? Well, most of them don't. I mean, you could guess the favourite food of a blood angel, can't you? In the name. Angels! Oh, no, blood. Blood. Meanwhile, my eyes are burning up. Honestly, my favourite part of like painting is this. Oh gosh, I went way too overboard with some of this dry brushing. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No. My favourite part, oh gosh, my favourite part of the painting process is the things like the dry brushing, the quick stuff. The basing, the dry brushing, the... You get a dry brushing palette, my goodness. I keep forgetting this model doesn't have its tongue, does it? That can be stuck out. The Chibi model does. That's in VTuber model. Oh yeah! These things are finished now. Look at them! They're not very good. But it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, I hate how badly it's painted. I don't know what's wrong with it. When I look at the individual bits, I feel like it's not badly painted. But when I look at it as a whole, I'm like... Quite a few characters in this squad aren't wearing the helmets. Like, he's got his helmet off, it's right there. This guy doesn't wear his helmet, it's right there. This guy's got his helmet in his hand because it's damaged. This guy's helmet's right here. Oh gosh, I didn't get any dry brush on the cape. That's like 4 characters without helmets. Why is my phone vibrating at me? Burger King. Burger King. No, I've had pasta today. I've had pasta. Tomato chicken sauce pasta. I made myself homemade. There we go. Ah, it's good enough. Whatever. This guy's got the Imperial Fist symbol on his arm. Oh, this guy's also not wearing a helmet. He's instead got it at his side. Oh, he's one of the ones that's where has the Horus Heresy heads. Space Marine got their smaller heads than the Primaris ones. Let's look over Power Fists. This is one of the Power Fists. This is one of the Power Fists. I think they're both from the Imperial Fist set, maybe. This is one of the Power Fists. And this is the last Power Fist. Three Power Fists. We got 2 squads here. We got a squad of 20 Black Templar Crusaders. Led by this sword brethren, got dude who has a bunch of fire at his feet. Ah! It's made from green stuff. It's terrible. But also a Castellan is in charge of them. And then they're supported by 5... Oh, this guy doesn't have his helmet either. Where's your helmet, bruv? Bruv! Where is your helmet? He doesn't even have it at his side. Oh, I know why. I can find his helmet. It's going to be... No, not you. Not you. Him. He's got his helmet. There you go. He's holding it for him. Yeah, this dude has a cool little symbol above his head. Ready to draw his chainsword. Oh yeah, they're supported by a couple of missile launchers. Well, 5 missile launchers. They got big old anti-tank missiles in there, like imagine the Javelin, but 40k via it. And they've also got these... Oh, that one's broken. Yeah, I lost the front part of it. We've got these cylinder that fire like loads and loads of tiny missiles. I like hunt and kill. I like hunter-killer missiles for infantry. Just fire them up into the air and they'll just seek out a target to explode next to. Yawning! Oh, gosh. Also, you want to see the new stuff? Paint marble effects. Oh, they teach how to paint marble effects. Like on the shoulder pad. Paint it white. Apothecary grey, I'm guessing. And black lines with known oil. Then use another paint to wipe that down. Highlight them. And then apply... Yeah, oh yeah, I got some ard coat because it makes this really cool glossy effect. I thought that might be cool on my Tyranids. Apparently it also protects the model. It's just basically a varnish. That's cool. That's a lot of work. But it might be cool. I might try that on my nights. Oh, so yeah, Black Library app is on its way here. On the 18th of March, you'll be able to find thousands of ebooks. And audiobooks. Oh, and audiobooks. That's nice. You don't need Audacity. You can link your accounts. I'm guessing that's your Audacity or Audible or whatever. Not Audacity, Audible or Amazon account. Okay, this is cool. The BL Audio Library. Oh my gosh. Oh, link your existing blacklibrary.com and BL Audio app libraries. Oh, that's cool. I don't have any of these things. Well, you can get these stories for free. Avenging Sun, Mark of Faith, Sanguinius, Dominion, Capheus Cain, the Anthology. Oh my, and Briar's here. Hello, Briar. Welcome in. I'm down here. Hi. I got fingies. No, let's just... Hello, Briar. Good morrow to you. Good old day. How was your stream? I hope it was fun. Welcome, everyone. I'm Cupcake Conjuror in both name and profession. First name, Conjurer. First name, Cupcake. Second name, Conjurer. Oh my gosh, I got it confused. You know, my mind's in other places right now. Hi, Paladin Stem. Oh, we're looking at Black Library, which is the Warhammer, like, books, storybooks thing. They got a new app coming out. And if you download it next month in March, it comes out on the 18th. You get all these books for free in both ebook and audiobook and French and German. Audio drama. Oh, this is pretty cool, though. Avenging Sun. Oh, first name Conjurer, second name Conjurer. I'm Conjurer. I conjure conjurers. Oh yeah, I conjure cupcakes, and we're looking at stuff. So if you want any cool, hi. Oh yeah, if you need to take a break, have a rest, get some drink, have to hydrate yourself, eat some food, do that. Oh, this is cool though. I like this. But yeah, oh, free books. Oh, what's that star mean? Until Monday, 20th of April. Oh, to keep. Yes, so you've got a 1 month until the 20th of April and you can keep these stories. That's cool. I like the fact it's also in audiobook form. And it's an entire Capheus Cain anthology. What? Apparently this is a very popular book. People recommend it. I've heard Avenging Sun's pretty good too. And the rest of them, I don't know. A perpetual conjuring machine. A lot of people say if you want to get started with Warhammer reading, this book here is one of the best to start with. So yay! A perpetual conjuring machine. Technically, I can conjure cupcakes. I can conjure other cupcakes. So, I mean, have you seen all the cupcake mages? Also, if you wonder what we're doing today, we're painting all of these models. We finished painting this morning. Well, actually this afternoon, because I did a bit more painting after the members stream, but we done this. We painted these guys and did the basis. I think this guy looks pretty cool. I think he came out well. The others, not so much. Yeah, he's got some lettuce. He's got some nice lettuce and cabbage. Cupcon can solve world hunger. No! No! Cupcakes are friends, not food. They add to the populace that needs feeding. I'm like the opposite of Thanos. I double the amount of people that need feeding and resources and stuff. Thanos is like half a number of people. That way we've got more resources to everyone. I'm like, no, double it. Double it. That way we get more workers to mine more resources. The cupcakes yearn for the mines and for farmlands. And for top tier managerial jobs. That sounds like a Rick and Morty episode. It does. A perpetual conjurer machine. Conjure. That's like it was a That's like the other Meesinks episode where the Meesinks just summoned more Meesinks, which summoned more Meesinks. Yeah, this is what we were painting. But now we're onto these guys, and we're doing some what's called dry brushing onto them. So if they become all frosty like this. Oh. I feel like maybe I should have tried doing some more camouflagey stuff on them. But you know, I don't do that. I think next time I'll try to do some camouflage. I think that might be fun. Conjure won't solve world hunger, but for an amazing reason. Yeah, the amazing reason. Hunger's good. It drives the population. Whereas an SCP, that is a collection of cakes that constantly replenishes after being eaten. But if we're not eaten within 24 hours, it creates a second cake. Exponential cakes. Look, look. I conjure as many cupcakes at once as I want. And if you try to eat me or you try to defeat me, I'll just conjure myself back into existence because that's how it works. You could throw me into the Omega device from Rick and Morty, and you know, I just conjure myself back into existence because that's how cool I am. I could be get hit by that weird balefire or whatever it's called spell from Wheel of Time. I'll just conjure myself back into existence because that's how it works. I'm overpowered. Uh-oh, I got Rick and Morty on my mind again. So, I'm going to list all of my complaints of Season 1 to 8 in order of utility. How annoyed they made me. So, first things first. Rick, in Season 6, Episode 7, he did that thing right. Ascending or descending order. I mean, most angry first, least angry last. I can't even remember which episode comes when in the Rick and Morty series, so, you know. My least favourite episodes are basically all Morty ends up in a relationship episodes because it just feels really weird to be watching a 14-year-old boy. After that, any episode with Rick in is terrible. He's been 14 for 10 years. He's had many lives. True. But throughout it all, they tried to still portray him as... I thought that was a spider on his shoulder, but I know it's a little skeleton. But still, they tried to portray him like a 14-year-old still. That's a bit like saying Bart Simpson isn't 10. He is 10. Hello, Saradwin. Actually, I think, isn't he technically 11 now? Like, he had a birthday. They should have been axed ages ago. Now they're like those really old hamsters that are all skin and shaking, looking for a way to get into Valhamster. Rick's already been to Valhalla. He chose not to stay. Oh no, you're talking about The Simpsons. Oh no, no, no. The Simpsons is great. The Simpsons will never get old, Talon. The Simpsons will keep making hit after hit. Never a bad episode. Never a bad episode. What about Principal Armitage? That episode doesn't exist. You can't prove it exists. What about the episode where they have Michael Jackson stay in Bart Simpson's bedroom for the entire night? That episode doesn't exist even more so. Also, that's a classic era Simpsons, so, you know. What about Lisa Goes Gaga? I've never watched that episode because it started so terribly. I chose to ignore its existence, and from this point on, I'm going to continue ignoring its existence. Elon Musk isn't a real person. He's just a character from Rick and Morty to learn. If Elon Musk was real, the world would be in a very terrible place. But thankfully, he doesn't exist. So, you know, the world is beautiful and great and nothing bad ever happens. That's why it's called real life and not fantasy, where all the bad stuff happens, like Lord of the Rings with Sauron. What about the episode they had Rowling on? No, that episode doesn't. No, there's a lot of Simpsons episodes that don't exist. People just think they exist, but they don't exist. And you can pretend they exist all you want, but it's not going to change the reality that they don't exist. You understand? Principal and for Parker. Which one's Principal and for Parker? Sorry. How did you send a message with nothing in it? Wait. Oh, that's how you just press a space. Oh, okay. Or where people say was the first bad episode ever and cause for decline. Do you mean the one with where Principal Skinner isn't Principal Skinner, instead there's another Principal Skinner? Do you mean that one? That's the first one I mentioned. Doesn't exist, Talan. Doesn't exist. Those were not intentional. T space T. It's in the game. T-Mobile. Rah. Crush. TT Games. Telltale. Oh. Oh. There we go. I keep pressing for wrong buttons. There we go. Anything else cool here? There's nothing cool here. It's just... There's not been any more information, has there, about the Tiger Man? No. No, no more new news. Cupcake Conjuror, remember that. I will forget that. Talan, do you know me? I forget everything. Hi, the Mongoose. Oh, the Simpsons started long before the Gaga episode. Oh wait, why did I say Talan? Briar, I forget everything. I don't remember anything. So I saw the shield and the blue and I just immediately thought, oh, that's Talan message. Oh, my brain doesn't work today. It's fine. It's fine. My cat's ill. I'm distracted. Oh look. We announced cats. Cats. Oh, Tony the Tiger. Tony the Tiger. I am indeed the Ratman. You are. Apparently there are 2 official rankings of this episode of The Simpsons from 2003 and 2026. Oh. I'd argue the problem started with Frank Grimes, how watch this hard-working man die while Homer is dumb. I don't think Frank Grimes was that episode. I know some people view it as that, but I don't think the Frank Grimes episode was hardworking man dies while Homer is dumb. It's a hardworking person who... He's basically meant to represent kind of a normal person, but I think he doesn't represent a normal person at all. He instead represents... Well, actually, there's 2 things it's meant to represent. 2000 and 2006. Oh, 2006, not 26. Oh, gosh. Both agree for episodes Kill All Alligators and Run is the worst episode ever. For episodes where they go to Florida. Oh, I can't even remember that one. I don't know who Kid Rock is. But what's it called for dying? With Frank Grimes, it's a very interesting episode. Because Frank Grimes isn't necessarily a hardworking man in just that he's a hardworking man. He's a person who constantly blames others for his own suffering. Some of that suffering is, you know, whatever, but he's constantly throwing the blame to the wrong place. Like, he constantly blames Homer throughout the episode, yet Homer is nothing but kind to Frank Grimes. The one bad thing he does is basically chew on Frank Grimes' pencils because he's Homer dumb. But That's about it. Every single other times, all of the pain that he's being caused is pretty much being caused by Mr. Burns, whether directly or indirectly. It's like Mr. Burns is the reason Homer has the job. Mr. Burns is the reason Homer wins the prize. Mr. Burns is the reason that Frank Grimes isn't getting, you know, applauded. Like, Homer's not the problem. Homer's just a symptom of the greater problem, that is the corruption within the workplace and corporate America. And Frank Grimes is having all his hatred directed at completely the wrong person. That's what half of the episode's about. Homer's not actually in the wrong. Homer's not just being Homer dumb. Homer is also kind of working hard. He's working hard to make friends. Although I do agree, it's kind of... That's where a lot of the screw-free audience jokes started with The Simpsons. I mean, they started before then, but that's the first time they had, like, an episode be fat on the nose of just that sort of style. And it did go over quite well. Like, it's regularly rated one of the highest rated episodes, and some of the highest rated episodes since have been very similar sorts of ones. But equally, this sort of having this plot line that's not just a single screw the audience joke, but the entire episode is a screw the audience like that. It's, they often make up some of the worst episodes too. Homer strangling Bart aside, and that's a bigger side. Yeah, that one's a bigger side. He was always a good but stupid man. Hi, just a musical nugget. That's the thing. If you actually look at more recent Simpsons, Homer's gone back to being good. In fact, there's this particular episode where he says Jackass Homer dies here. Or something like that. And that was years ago. Like a decade ago. Like, I think when I was watching The Simpsons, the hardest part was probably season 10 to 20. Or 20 something. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I remember the more recent seasons of The Simpsons were generally just much stronger. They not only had a few stellar episodes that were as good as the classic era. Like, one of my favourite all-time Simpsons episode is it well within the modern Simpsons. And it's a beautiful tale of Homer and Marge decide to go on holiday together without the kids, and they get lost in the woods. And it's just such a beautiful episode. It's really, really nice. It's basically just about how much Homer and Marge actually trust and love each other, basically. Hearing voices now, ouch. You can tell Marge's voice actor isn't... Yeah, that's the thing. I do think that the voice actors kind of need to be changed out. Simpsons has had a bit of a complaint of a past of... It's become this massive monolith of, you know, animated TV shows. It's a multi-billion-dollar franchise, yet it has only a handful of voice actors, and they seem very reluctant to bring on new talent or to change it out or to, you know, support new voice acting. And the voice acting community and stuff has been, like, rightfully upset about that. It's like you got all these characters, all these hundreds of characters, and there's like 6 people who voice all of them, and they're all getting quite old now and struggling. So I do think it's a good that they finally decide to replace some of the voice actors on the show, or at least for some of the characters. Isn't Don Castellana, however you pronounce it, contracted until he's 110? Probably. But yeah, so that is one of the issues. Like, Marge definitely needs, if not completely replacing, at least somebody to help do the more aggressive vocalizations that are needed. In part just to protect the throat, because one of the issues is when you're doing voice acting, especially into older age, it And the more that you need to use your voice in different ways, the more likely you are to get throat cancer. This is one of the reasons why a lot of older voice actors have died of throat cancer. But I'm doing okay. We're talking about The Simpsons. I think the modern Simpsons get a bad rap. I can do the Marge-like voice and it definitely kills the throat. Yeah. I can do Marge's laugh, which I accidentally do sometimes when I'm just laughing normally. I can't really do her voice properly. Oh gosh, yep, thought there's too much on. I need to get a proper dry brushing pad. Oh my goodness, I definitely need a dry brushing pad. It's hard to tell. Oh my goodness, stop. Yeah, I don't think that most of like the modern Simpsons and the more recent, they have had a few terrible episodes, and that's one of the things about the Simpsons is that the classic era is defined by it has very few bad episodes. I'd say that a lot of the best episodes of the Simpsons come after the classic era, but the classic era very rarely has any, you know, episodes where you watch it and you think, yeah, that was bad. Modern Simpsons, even the best seasons, still have at least one episode where you just come from it and thinking, that wasn't very good at all. Or at least where it feels a bit weaker. But I think like what they call it now is that it's kind of a Simpsons Renaissance. One of the nostalgia critics' best takes is by adding modern references, you make it more dated. Every celebrity cameo in The Simpsons proves that. Kind of, yeah. I mean, as a Brit, sometimes I just don't recognize celebrity cameos because they're popular in America. Like, anytime they bring on a basketball player or a baseball player or something, it's like for Harlem Globetrotters, I weren't aware that they were not just a thing made up for Futurama for a long time. I never really knew about the Harlem Globetrotters outside of Futurama. But yeah, a lot of the times, a lot of the Simpsons is kind of dated anyway, from the technology they're using, to the fact that the internet doesn't exist in some of their episodes, to the music references. Sometimes they literally just state years. And I don't think making an episode dated is a bad thing. Like, they've got some really good celebrity cameos. Like, there's a few celebrity cameos where the celebrity doesn't play themselves, and instead it just plays a character. And the character is just a normal character from The Simpsons. It's a one-off character, but still they're kind of a normal character. And I think those are generally the best ones. Things like Gaga one and the Elon Musk one, they date it a lot more because they make the entire episode about this person. And a lot of it is just, wow, look who we've got on the show. And that's kind of bad when they do it like that. You can correlate the episode popularity almost exactly along the departure of the original team. Correlation alone is not causation, but I think it's fairly clear. Okay, what are those emojis meaning there? I'm speaking in WD Gaster. Stop. So it's a stop, thumbs up, cross, something, thumbs up, peace. I have no idea what you're saying. It started as a joke at the expense of wait till your father gets home type of sitcom. It's Hi, Cupcake Conjuror. Oh, okay. Oh, Wingdings! Yeah, I don't think that translates very well into YouTube chat. Started as a joke at the expense of wait till your father gets home type of sitcom and a modern day Flintstones. Obviously, now every TV dad is dumb. Not every TV dad. Bob's Burgers TV dad isn't. Bob's Burgers a father. He's not intelligent, but he's not stupid. He's just the average dad. Average father. What else is there? I can't think of many other TV shows, to be honest. Yeah, Homer's always dumb. I mean, he became very dumb in the classic era, to be honest. Like, he was never meant to be intelligent. There we go. Oh, gosh darn it. I don't get it. This brush sometimes. Sometimes it just not got anything on it, and then suddenly you just find a layer of a brush that has lots of paint ready to be applied. I always hated the Bart suffering episode. He's faking appendicitis, ignore him. The Bart suffering episodes are kind of meh, most of them. Bart's a horrid critical. Hi, W. And hi, Leona. How you doing? It's, I mean, half of Bart's suffering episodes is Bart kind of getting his cry wolf moments. I think part of it's also meant to be relatable. Like, I think most people can relate to being a kid and people think that you're just pretending to be sick, especially doctors and stuff. I mean, I know I can. Oh, darn it, I broke off his little shield. I'm gonna have to glue that on after doing this, otherwise I'll damage the brush. Oh, and I broke off his little... He's a menace. He's a menace JJ constantly calls Spider-Man. That's a lot of space. It is a lot of space means. 27 space means here. It's 2 squads. because Black Templar, Space Marines, Crusader squads can come in squads of 20. And then they're led by a Castellan hero. And then I've got a squad of... Oh no, it's just 26, not 27. I'm crazy. And then they've got a squad of 5 of these rocket launcher dudes supporting them. Lisa's not always right. There's been more than one episode where she thinks she's right and she's not. Like, do you know her vegetarian episodes? Often it's not the fact that she's wrong or she's right. It's the fact that she goes too far to prove she is right or to prove everyone else is wrong. And a lot of the time... I say a lot of the time. A couple of the episodes are... She can be right, but it doesn't mean other people are wrong. Like, that's what the thing about the vegetarian episode. And, you know, the Buddhist episode. She's perfectly right and allowed to be what she wants to do. And others are allowed to do what they want to do. And part of this is things like you got another character that's trying to force her to do something she doesn't, but at the same time, she's doing the same thing to others. You then got the episodes where she thinks she's in the right, but she's actually completely wrong. Like that time when Paddy and Selma took her to the city. You then got her entire thing about wanting to conserve nature and stuff like that, which is meant to be like... Again, a lot of it is her going too far for one reason or another. And learning when you shouldn't be going that far. Lisa the Republican. You only did that to avoid bullies. How do you paint black? The regular techniques don't work because it's black. Yeah, that's the thing where she's wrong. She can still be right about being allowed to be a vegetarian and thinking that it's a good thing, but it doesn't mean other people are wrong for wanting to eat meat. And that's something that Lisa... I think it does get old after a number of episodes. I think the other thing that gets difficult with Lisa is that she constantly dives between or bounces between being an actual 8-year-old who does 8-year-old stuff, which she doesn't get allowed to do. Although the modern seasons have been allowing her to just be an 8-year-old kid more, and then her being a kid that, you know, is an adult, basically has an adult mind, but is a kid. Which is kind of what the classic Simpsons wanted to do with her. Your computer keeps freezing. No! But it's... I don't think... Well, I mean, that ended up creating these issues, though, where Lisa does do stupid stuff because she's an 8-year-old. But people don't accept that Lisa can do stupid stuff because she's usually so clever. And as a result... And often the writers themselves just kind of write themselves into a corner of it. I think the newer seasons do it a little better. Hi, Sparky! Let's put a dry brush, black wash, glaze and black on top of more black. So how I do black is I can show you one of my Templars. I'll show you the two ways I've done it, actually. The classic heavy metal way and the contrast way. Hello! Here's the two I did. The two ways I've done it. So this is the classic way I did it. Basically undercoat it in black using Chaos Black spray paint. Do I have any here? I do, of course I do. Chaos Black spray paint. And then basically I just leave it. I just edge highlight it. If I go too far over, I just get Abaddon Black, put it on top. That's it. Or Chaos Black, something like that. No, Abaddon Black. This one was undercoated in white or Wraithbone. And I used Black Templar Contrast to get this black. And Abaddon Black as well in some places. And then I edge highlighted it as well. I do not recommend going this route. It looks okay. It looks a bit messy though. Not the biggest of fans of it. So yeah, if all you're concerned about is trying to get the black looking black, just undercoat it with Chaos Black and, you know, it will just be a very, very dark colour. If you want to get it looking even darker, just go over with a contrast black paint. This time round, I'm doing this. I'm using Mechanicum Grey as my base coat. I want to paint one of the new Black Battletech Gothic minis as a Black Marauder Ghost Mech. Oh. Yeah, I recommend just getting a black undercoating primer spray paint from one of the model shops, model paint ranges. Armor Painter, Fallager, whatever, Citadel. Generally, black's one of the easiest paints to get looking black. The main thing is, though, is colour theory. Is you don't always want something to be black for it to look black. In fact, often having like bits of blues and so on can help it look darker than it actually is. And no, it's literally compared to being a black void. It's like a literal emptiness stopping around. And what I'd recommend is get something like Chaos Black, spray that, and then go over with maybe Black Legion Contrast, something like that. If you want it to look matte, Do you want it to look matte or do you want it to look shiny black? It's a big question as well. Like, if you want it to look shiny, then for these technical paints for Citadel, I've not used, but I've heard about them. Hard Coat will give it a really glossy, shiny effect colour, and Storm Shield will make it look very matte. So matte will basically the opposite of shiny. So it won't reflect very much. You can also get the similar effect if you find a varnish. Find a matte varnish. This will not only protect the paint, but it will remove a lot of the glossiness within the paint. I use a black marker to fill in for a sticker that wouldn't stay down, even with glue. Oh. Epoxanol foil. Black markers are cool. I'm thinking about trying to use a black marker for these models to do the crosses. I think I'll go matte. I like shiny better, but I'm trying to go for more accurate. Okay. Makes sense. You can put red eyes on it. There we go. Oh. I didn't even need a foil to. I didn't even need it to be a foil sticker. It was a matte varnish. Oh. This is a bit much. Darn it. Then another piece flying. Didn't even realise I touched that piece. Foil stickers are always good for metallic colours, even if they aren't always with the effect. Metallic pens can also go really well, which is where is he? Which is what I did with this guy. I was just testing out for pens with him. There we go. Get the little brush around here. Unfortunately, this model, the shade of green, is in between the two markers I have. Oh. Might paint some of the spiky cockpit bits as a dirt to white with yellow or brown since it's been described as having shark teeth. Ooh, that sounds cool. Yep, there we go. We got a lot of Space Marines to paint. A lot of Space Marines to paint. A lot of Space Marines, a lot of Space Marines, a lot of Space Marines to paint. Could theoretically throw some star bits and purple bits in the end of a body since it's often compared to a void of space. That could be fun. How many Marines do I have? Do I have here or do I have in general? If you want to know how many in general, the easiest way to show you would be these are my army lists. So I have 1,000 points of Nurgly Chaos Space Marines, 1,000 points of Seleneshi Space Marines, 1,000 points of Sinchi Space Marines, 1,000 points of Undivided Space Marines, all of which are Night Lords. We're going to have 1,000 points of Khorne Berserker Space Marines. Then I've got the Air Force, but for these guys. I don't have all of these. I have one of the Thunderhawks. I have some other Storm Ravens and stuff. But we got the primary battle line, which is almost finished. 3,000 points of Black Templar. Heavy battle line, almost finished. 3,000 points of Black Templar. Relic battle line, 5,000 points of Black Templar. Almost finished. Plasma battle line, 3,000 points. Just started. We got quite a bit to go with them. Pretty much finished. This is what these Space Marines here are from. The Mobile Battle Group, 3,000 points. It's got 2 Mastodons in there. In here, from the top of my head, I remember there's 54 Space Marines and 2 Mastodons. Yeah. No, not 40. No, 40. 84. 94, sorry, Space Marines and 2 Mastodons. Then Siege Force, 3,000 points. That's almost finished. I just need to get 1 chaplain for it. 3,000 points of Defense Force, almost finished. 3,000 points of a Rapid Response Force. I have all the models, I just need to build them still. 3,000 points of Stealth Ring. Again, I have all the models. Actually, do I have all the models? I don't have the Storm Speeders. I need the Storm Speeders, that's it. I've only got 1 of them. Still needs to be built. 3,000 points for Armoured Corps. There's quite a few models in there I need to get. Vigilant Fire Force, I have some of them. Don't have all of them yet. Neophyte Training, I've not started at all. Vengeful Veterans, 3,000 points of Terminators. I've got them all built. We can ignore that one. We're going to get that with a new thingamajig. But yeah, that's a lot of Space Marines. You have any old minis you have to put on rocks and stuff? Do you want to see my oldest mini? I actually got it. I used to have a lot of old minis, like I first started with Battle on my Crag. But I kind of got rid of all my old models.
Good goddamn woman, why that's a lot of Marines.
That being said, I did find the Battle of McCrag, the reprint of it, going cheaply on eBay. So, look at this old Space Marine. I've got 10 of guys like this next to a neophyte. Look how tiny he is. Put him next to a servitor. Look how tiny he is. He's a baba. He's a baba. Now the fun thing is, it's like, oh yeah, everything's been scaled up since then. No. Most human characters are still the same sized. Could theoretically throw some star bits and purple bits. Yeah. Try to give it some cosmic evidence. Yeah. Goddamn woman, that's a lot. It is a lot of Marines. We love our Marines. Yeah, I was talking about how many Marines I have 127 Terminators. I'm going to get 10 more. I have the mobile battle line, which these guys are part of. Their army alone has 94 Space Marines in it. 4 squads of 20 Crusaders. 2 squads of 5 of these rocket dudes, Desolation Marines. And then a Marshal, a Castellan, a Crusader Ancient, and who was the last guy? I think a Judicia. Or was it an Executor? Let me know. Oh no, it's a Chaplain. It was a Chaplain. Yeah, of course it is. We've painted him. Easy to forget that Marines are like 8 foot something, especially back then. Like, let me look. From the same box set. So here we go. Here we go. So from the same box set, we had this dude who's a pilot. He's a regular human pilot who was tasked with moving gene seed. Yeah, back then Space Marine models were for some reason just really tiny. Like, put him next to the servitor, that's just normal human height today. And he's pretty much the same height. Humans haven't changed much in size in model-wise. But yeah, the old Marines weren't actually bigger than the normal human models. Now, it was more realistic that he could fit 10 of these guys inside a Rhino. They are so easy to draw a square around, they seem short. What if I had a Rogue Trader Tech Marine? Does even have back gear, just a toolbox, same for Apothecary. Rogue Trader Tech Marine. I don't think you do get Rogue Trader Marines. Oh wait, if you mean like the really old miniatures from the... when Warhammer 40k was called Rogue Trader, I have no idea. I never had models from back then. I wasn't even born back then, so... This is a Termagant for the same set. Next to the Space Marine. Scary. Next to a human. Termagants are scary. And they've gotten smaller. Yeah, not everything's been scaled up. Some stuff's been scaled down. Similarly, Gene Stealer from that set. Next to a Gene Stealer today. Now, this isn't just any Gene Stealer today. This is, I think, a guy in the other squad leader of a Gene Stealer group. So yeah, they're still a very similar size to one another. But Termagants have actually shrunk. It makes sense that they finally decided to shrink termagants because my goodness, did termagants were absolutely massive. I mean, they still are massive, but at least they're not as ridiculously massive. It feels like a guardsman could take on this guy. Back when they were this big, it felt like guardsmen could never take them on. Modern one is more tentacle face, but I see if they kept with jazz hands. Yeah. Oh, wait. Modern ones don't just have to have tentacle faces. I just build mine with the tentacle faces because I love them. Actually, back when they released these dudes, the Gene Stealer kit that you could buy at the time had heads for the tentacle set. Actually, I'm not sure if they even... No, I think these are newer. These are newer than the ones I had back then. But the Gene Stealers back then, they did have the tentacle face as well as this head, and still you can have this head as a Gene Stealer thing. I just prefer the tentacle face. But yeah, the Gene Stealers haven't changed much since then. Actually, when I bought the Gene Stealer box, the modern one, I thought it was just going to be the same box I had when I was a kid. But turns out, no, it wasn't. Same with the termagants, to be honest. But one issue is these guys are way higher detail than these guys, which makes painting them a lot harder. And when you got lots of them to paint, it's not fun. But yeah, do you want to see how big he is next to a normal Space Marine? He's a baby! I mean, he actually seems short next to a human, because if he took off his armor, he would be even shorter. And he'd be tiny-headed. Like, normal human-sized person next to modern Space Marines. Modern Space Marines seem absolutely giant. And it's good. They should feel giant. So mind me, Gene Stealer cults and NIDs can run a religious organization. They can talk. They basically use their mind to talk to people. I'm in two minds about the fluting of the termagant's back. I like it. It does make it painting a bit more annoying, but honestly I like it enough. I don't care. It's more in keeping with the rest of the Tyranid range as well. But yeah, these guys, it's much easier to imagine these guys cutting through swathes of termagants than this guy. Where's he gone? This guy cutting through swathes of these termagants. Like, his gun is almost as big as a Space Marine. Hello, Night Parade! It's more horrifying, which is a point, but it's less sleek. Yeah, I don't think termagants are meant to be sleek, to be honest. Stuff like these guys, Leapus. Yeah, I can see that. You'd want them to be sleek. But they do kind of look sleek because the flutes aren't that big compared to the rest of the body. But anyway, let's get back to painting. Let's get back to painting. You keep distracting me. Honestly surprised the studio behind Alien never sued GW. I don't think they look similar enough. Gene Stealers behave similar to the aliens from Alien, but they look very different from the aliens from Alien. On top of this, they not only look different, but the entire colour scheme is massively different. But the Tyranids that look most similar to the aliens don't even act like them. I think the most ironic thing is that Games Workshop is incredibly protective of their entire IP and stuff. Yet, they're the ones who, like, in the early days were constantly ripping on others' IPs. That being said, there's plenty of games at the moment that, and throughout the years, that have basically been What If Space Marines, but the entire point of them, and one of the reasons they get away with it and Games Workshop doesn't try stopping them, is that they have their own game system connected to them and their own lore, whereas the things that they normally stop are basically just, hey, these models can be used in Warhammer. Probably difficult to prove they are copied for alien books. It's a fairly common thing in sci-fi, yeah. And it's an alien itself inspired by like a book or something. Most of their stuff is a mishmash of other things. It's true. It's like Necrons are kind of Skynet and Terminators combined with Cybermen from Doctor Who. Oh gosh, I think I just knocked something off. Oh, I did knock something off. And it went flying. This thing? Nope. What is it? Oh, to hit my knee. It could have bounced anywhere. It is this. Here we go. Ah, yes, Dado. The Geiger-esque aesthetic is quite telling. Eldor just space elves, everyone knows that. They've changed them a bit. I think an important aspect to also go is the names and stuff. Alien was inspired by another film that Alien writer made called Dark Star and possibly a comic he wrote years before. Ooh. They say is that comedy and horror are two sides of the same cloth. Is that the same things that make comedy funny is the same things that make horror scary. It's just how you approach it. Oh gosh, this entire model is just falling to bits. Oh darn it. I'm pushing too hard. You're kinda in a class. Don't worry about not saying anything. Focus on your studies, you silly person. Okay, where's my super glue? I need my super glue. Just found a seed. Hi, sup nerd. What legion or chapter of painting? Black Templars! Roar! Got this dude with a giant axe. Wait, we were just doing some dry brushing first. And by dry brushing, I mean very, very heavy brushing to a point where I'm breaking my models to pieces because I'm insane. Apparently. Nostromo didn't have a lot of lights inside it, made it quite easy to see, you know. Right, get off. Go into here. Go into here. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we're doing Black Templar. Big old Black Templar symbol. We're currently painting models for my mobile I'm making 40,000 points of Black Templar. Big old quest. And for mobile detachment is currently what we're doing. It's called mobile because it's got two mastodons. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna go over with contrast Black Templar. It'll be fine. It's but a scratch. Oh gosh. Have we got my favourite unit here? The Desolation Squad, which absolutely sucks. 200 points for a unit that it is not doing a hell of a lot. But it's fine. Also, some of them have the Imperial Fist symbol on because I bought the Imperial Fist Combat Patrol and I wanted to use the pieces. And because, you know, for Black Templar, they descend from the Imperial Fists. Sometimes some of them want to wear the symbols of the brothers they've fought alongside. There we go. Oh, he's like a little Templar symbol on his head. Oh, white seems a lot more vibrant of a camera than it does in real life. Also, I'm just going to open a window. 40,000 points. Yeah, 40,000 points of Warhammer 40k. That's the point, right? I thought I had a lot with 6,000 points spread over 3 different marine armies. Currently built, I've got probably 20 or 30,000 points of Black Templar that are built during the process. I've got 5,000 points of Tyranids, roughly. This is the colour scheme. Well, I say this is the colour scheme. Technically, we've edited it since then. This is now the colour scheme. Yeah, for the Tyranids. Oh yeah, this is the colour scheme we're going for the Black Templar. Although these guys will have a purple shoulder pad to represent what detachment they're from. Also, I'm thinking about doing one of the knee pads a certain colour to represent the squad. Also, let me open a window. We're also building 4,000 points of Night Lords, 3,000 points of Orcs, 1,000 points of Gene Stealers, 1,000 points of World Eaters, 2,000 points of Eldar, Corsairs, 1,000 points League of Photon, we've built them now. Still need to paint them. A lot of stuff needs to be painted. The organization chart. Yay! We have... I've also got some Imperial Knights. Originally meant to be part of a 40,000 points of Black Templar, but then I thought that was cheating. Same with a Warhound Titan.
All Marines are now prohibited from giving a battle brother an omelette and then dropping a can marked Tyranid eggs.
Gosh, do Tyranids even have eggs? That would be a nasty prank on somebody. Oh my gosh, giving someone an omelette and then just dropping cockroach eggs. A can marked cockroach eggs next to it. Like, no. No! I just realised this guy's holding a clip. Oh, it's a clip from his pistol. Oh, that's what it is. If you're wondering where his helmet is, it's here, being held by this neophyte. Yeah, we have a crazy... Oh yeah, I've also got 1,000 points of Tau now to build, and I've been building some... I got the Battleclade thing. So now I started mechanical. I've got an issue. I get some models and then it's like I buy a kill team set because I want the terrain and one of the kill teams, and then I got a second kill team. I'm like, now I need to have the rest of the kill. Now I need to give that kill team an entire army so it doesn't feel lonely. You know? And it's like this one dude here, this one Stingwing, whatever they called, Vespid, has been sat on my desk ever since I got that kill zone, got for the Aquilians. Oh yeah, I'm building 4,000 points of Templar serfs, which are just guardsmen. He's been sat just there watching me like, give me a tower army, give me a tower. So I had to get him one. The only reproductive system more terrifying and incomprehensible than Tyranids is Yoshi. No. We do not speak of the Yoshi. Mario sacrificing 10 billion. How many Yoshis have died so that Mario can go over a cliff? It's like, can he go round? Probably. Will he go round? Never. He'd rather sacrifice 1,000 Yoshis than slow down. I have an issue with these models just falling to pieces on me. All I'm doing is very lightly brushing them. In Mario Sunshine, Yoshi needs a constant supply of fruit or they dissolve within minutes. No! Mario, how could you do that to Yoshi? Mario's like, it wasn't my fault. Why are you blaming me? Because Mario is always to blame. Firmly grasp it. Cupcake brushed gently. Entire model explodes because of the vicious brushing. I went tired doing thing. Did you put your name in the goblet of fire? Good Dumbledore asked calmly. The reality of the situation is much different. I never quite explained where Bud Bowser's kids came from, or why only the last one is Junior. Look, Bowser adopted multiple children. And then Bowser's brother died, and he was left with Junior. Bowser is just a philanthropist, you know. He's a very kind dinosaur man. No, everyone wonders why did he kidnap Peach. No one thinks the real reason why. They just look at the video games, which is just Mario and Mushroom Kingdom propaganda. And they don't think that maybe Bowser is just trying to help his nation and his people. He treats deserters from his army surprisingly well. To be honest, I don't think we should be thinking this hard about Mario games. The writers clearly didn't think that hard about the lore of Mario. Like, why is a plumber the only hope of the Mushroom Kingdom? Why is the person in charge of the Mushroom Kingdom not a mushroom? Cupcake. No! If I were King Toad, I think you made your girlfriend mad at you. How did you make your girlfriend mad at you? Is it because she turned me into a cat? She's rightfully mad if that's the case. No. No, what do you mean no? Everyone should be mad that you turned me into a cat. Tell her that you turned me into a cat. So she can be more mad at you. I think most of the kids except Junior are adopted or simply subordinates in current law. Them being his kids may have been a translation error or invented by the Western market. Oh. Interesting. You'd prefer not to say how you made... You told her. I didn't mean for you to actually tell her. Oh. Yeah, I think other Cooper kids were invented for the American cartoon. What? There's a Mario cartoon! And nobody told me! I would have been so quick to be like, this is the worst cartoon ever. Don't watch it. Who wants to watch a cartoon about Mario? Imagine if it made a Mario film. That would be laughable. Terrible. Imagine if it then decided to do it again like 40 years later. Crazy, I say. I'm joking, by the way. I like to laugh. More models, but I need a drink. If I King Toadstool and saw my daughter were parading around with a plumber instead of a neighbouring king, I would be concerned for the political future of the realm. Maybe, maybe. Zamira asks for excuse me, princess. Oh, I know those cartoons. Yeah. Oh, for a similar situation with Sonic games, all different regions had different lore until they started to unify it on the Dreamcast. And now there's different worlds and Sonic has its own multiverse. You got blocked. Blocked by who? There you go. Big old chainsaw. Look at that monstrous thing. Good old face. Humans are insane. She unblocked it. Pfft. What's this? My goodness, Mario games. What's everyone's favourite Mario game and why is it Sunshine? I know about Sunshine. Sunshine looks like a cool game. You get a water gun. But stop turning me into things. Cuptle, stop eating. Stop. There we go. Oh, I made it to season 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Season 1 struggled with. Season 2 was pretty great. Season 3 is so far very strong. Azula, best character. Nah, maybe not best. But she's a pretty great character. Gotta give it hand of that much. Oh gosh, darn it, everything's falling to pieces now. Okay, so you got 2 purity seals here, and a set of bones. The super glutes. The bones on. There we go. Get this on now. There we go. Gluing the models back together. Then on to the next neophyte. Look at him being all sassy. Look at his sassy little run. Pew 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 pew. Spice Marines, Spice Marines, Spice Marines. They're so spicy. With the spiciest Marines. I was elected to lead, not lead. There you go. How are you doing, Denizen of Misery? Still being a Denizen of Misery? Are you feeling like you're in Happy Town today? Hoping that would. If I'm in Hammertown, I mean, it could just be visiting. Come for the sun, stay for the glum. Oh, that should be the like town motto of Miseryville. I forget people can go outside. I can't. If I did go outside yesterday to visit my cat in hospital. Darn it. There we go. Oh my goodness, it takes a long time to just dry brush this many marines. Well, we're over halfway through. It's not even being a dry brush anymore. It's just being an aggressive brush. It's dry brushing if I'm just doing whatever I'm doing. But it's fine. It will barely matter in the long run. So I'm just like washing the brush a bit. There we go. I'm just gonna lean back a little. Gonna get myself a Death Guard for Combat Patrol tomorrow. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. I've heard Nurgle's Rot is a really cool paint. But what type of tips do you want? Red Corsairs! There we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This thing. And this thing. And a rhino. It's a pretty good box. We got 2 commanders in it. A vehicle. 2 decent units. Oh, you found the older one. What's the older one? This is a pretty good one. Death Guard Combat Patrol. Is it this one? Which has... No, that's a different one. That's got a bunch of units that don't exist anymore, doesn't it? Is that just 2 squads of poxwalkers, a squad of plague marines and typhus? Oh, 30 zombies. So it's got 30 blooming. Yeah, 30 poxwalkers, squad of plague marines and typhus. How can you paint 30 zombies? Well, it'd be pretty difficult, but what I would suggest is use something like Wraithcore Flesh on them. Or do you know, like Wraith Bone or whatever for like your undercoat. Actually, you could do what I'm doing. Go for Mechanicum. Go for like dry brush them with a white or lighter colour. Then just use a bunch of washes for the rest of it. Of the different skin tones. So a good one would be Carringburg Crimson for some of the fleshier, gory bits. Use some green skin toned shades and stuff like that. I have a native engine blue bovis. A lot of high winds to get. It's been very windy today. Yeah, I'd suggest using washes and contrasts over a lighter colour scheme, a lighter colour. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have been going a bit overboard with this, haven't I? That's fine. Way too much paint on it then. Hard to tell how much paint is on the brush until a bunch of it just gets caught on the model. Now it can easily gets caught to the model where it doesn't get caught on the paint pad. There you go. Any ideas to make them more gory? Nurgle Rot Technical Paint will give you like a very gel-like paint that will dry in a very glossy, disgusting sort of way. Blood for the Blood God will dry in a very fleshy, horrible way. Carringburg Crimson will help it look very gory. A good thing to do is paint like purples into it though. Purples help massively make something look more gory with some just purple dark areas or highlights. My father can't fathom games having a story, so he was very confused when I said he wouldn't like The Last of Us. How The Last of Us would go. He was like, well, how do you know? Oh. Yeah, a lot of people don't realise that a lot of games are story-based. I think my mother would absolutely be a gamer if she was born into the era where of games. Like, I think she would love things like Crusader Kings, Legend of Zelda, Skyrim to a lesser extent. Kingdoms of Amalur she'll probably love. Maybe Kingdoms Come Deliverance. You thought games stopped around Mario NES? I think that's why a lot of people were surprised that Sonic movies are even competent. To be fair, a lot of people who played the Sonic games probably didn't even realise the Sonic games had more story than Eggman Bad, Go and Beat Up Eggman. I mean, even I played like Shadow the Hedgehog and I wasn't even sure that Sonic had much lore and story to their world and games. And that's like my full introduction to Sonic. What do you mean Sonic games haven't been handled well in a while? I love you. No, but what about... My favourite Sonic game is Adventure 2. The only Sonic games I know is basically the original Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog. I've played the original Sonic on a variety of devices. From... I remember what it was on. I remember having like... They've released like various just handheld devices that just have Sonic games loaded on them, and I've had a couple of them before. And like things where you get the Sonic games for free on them. Like the original Sonic games. Like, did the Switch have it for free? Or was it a different thing? So far, the only problem with Sega is overpricing. I don't know. I've heard of a couple of Sonic games that were absolutely terrible. Like, they were buggy messes. They didn't make any sense. The gameplay was janky and terrible. And you could finish the entire thing in like 2 hours. And it was overpriced. But at that, honestly, it would be overpriced at whatever price it would sell for. I think there's an arcade game that had the original Sonic game on it as well that I played once. Original Sonic game is absolutely everywhere. Okay, that's snapped off. Gotta fix that on later. And now it's later. 2006 Unleashed Forces. Yeah, I don't really know a lot about Sonic games, to be honest, though. I've heard a bit of controversy about some of them, but that's about it. And somebody who, like, did speedrunning. The Death Egg fight was amazing. Even the better recent ones don't have a momentum like the original ones did. If you stop pushing a direction, there's no slowdown. He just stops dead. Oh, that's a bit sad. Okay, there we go. Got it. Where's my glue?
Does the turtle smell nice?
Yes. Like freshly baked cake, actually. Okay, this piece is difficult to fix. But hopefully it's going to be good enough. Probably had with forces was hackers. Speaking of Sonic, anyone remember those Flash game Final Fantasy Sonic X? No idea what that is. There's some bad ones, but also a lot of good ones. But it was a thing for quite a while to exaggerate for all bad. A lot of it comes from Sonic Twitter fans. Oh. And IGN. Forces played okay, but for bringing back past villains, it didn't really do much, and it was very short. Sonic Boom knew it was departing from the law and made some pretty good jokes about it. Oh. Oh, that's cool. We all love that. There we go. So just checking notifications and stuff. There we go. Only how many more? 5 of the missile dudes and 4 other dudes. Knuckles had one job, and it turns out without that job, he's just really dumb. Make the tough, punchy one dumb. What? Unheard of. I'm just resting. I'm tired. I've done a lot of painting today. And we got more to do. We got more to do. I've seen some clips on the Sonic Boom TV show and it seems mildly amusing. Okay, that's getting all. There we go. He's an echidna. I don't know if there's a law reason for echidna to have dreads. Dreads are just cool. You don't understand. Death dreads, dreadnoughts, dreadnought redemptors. Even hellbrutes are a form of dread. Sticks of badgers are always my favourite in Boom. I have no idea who that is. I imagine he's a badger named Sticks. Who would name a badger Sticks? What a crazy name. Hope someone got fired with that blunder. I know it's not a blunder. I don't hope someone got fired. I just remembered Simpsons reference and I was like, have to say it now. But why is he called Sticks? Does he collect sticks or something? She's a conspiracy theorist. Apparently she's feral, which in a society full of talking animals just means crazy. She's crazy. Look, any conspiracy theorist in a kids' TV show is always correct about everything. That's the rule. The only exception is if it's a show like Batman. In which case they're going to be correct about one thing but wrong about everything else. She actually is. Does she recognise that they're all characters in a TV show? And they all come from a video game? Well, she might be wrong about the government replacing her pot plants with violins. No, that's what the government does. I'm pretty sure. It's just we've done it so much, people can't tell the difference. People are wrong about what pot plants are now and what violins are. Violins are something that you put flowers in. Pot plants are something you play music on. But we've done so much replacing, no one even knows that anymore. I think, well, pot plants are called pot plants. Obviously, you put from, it's a pot with plants in it. It's like, no! That comes with a word violin. Violini. Which is Latin for potted plant. Where pot plant comes from the word Patanaplantia, which means a musical instrument with strings in Latin. I'm joking. I'm making stuff up. I think the spines just slowly morphed into dreads over time. Maybe. Maybe. I mean spine without the E. Spin. Amy just one of those cutaway sentences and says, imagine you're a bystander only gets in pieces of a conversation. And Stick says, you see them too? Oh! Anyone tell you you sound like Edna from the Incredibles? You're rather fond of Edna? I sound like Edna from the No Capes. No Capes! Yes, Capes. All of the Capes. The funny thing is, Stick, conspiracy theories actually proven correct by the end of the episode. Nice. Do other people recognize this? Or is it just for audience? Well, what did I tell you? Golden rule. If it's a kids' TV show for conspiracy theorists, it's always correct. About almost everything for paint to wears Prada capes. Oh gosh, this is just insane. There we go. Another Crusader. They even recognise that there was initial backlash at Sonic having blue arms. They are classically the same colour as his belly. Sonic does not have a belly. Sonic has arms. He's not like Rayman where he just has his hands floating next to him. And his feet floating. I know he doesn't. Oh no, my arms aren't working anymore. Imagine if the Sonic films kept the original design for Sonic. That sounds... I don't think those films would have done anywhere near as well with the original design. Rayman! Raymond's raving rabbits. How did the rabbits become more popular than Rayman himself? Like, they're so popular, they've had collabs with Mario. How does a main character get outshone by silly mascots? Don't speak to me about Gru in Despicable Me and the Minions. They didn't appear until like one of the later games, didn't they? They weren't in the original games, I don't think. Oh no, I never played them fully. I only played like demos of them and stuff. I don't think I even played the original. like the demo for the original, just other versions. He is also classically wall-eyed for films separate from, because the more 3D he looks, the weirder he gets. Yeah. It makes sense. And to be fair, he looks weird even in 2D. Like that weird chibi design he has, that's like the closest to the original, kind of creeps me out. I don't think it's wrong to redesign him, the classical look of somebody. It's kind of Felix the Cat style. Barbers are a spin-off of a party game. Were they? Oh. I just remember the Raymond Raving Rabbits existed one day. And honestly, the games are really good. Like, I've got for Mario on my Switch. I have the Mario Raving Rabbids game. It's a really good game. And I've played other stuff with them in. It's like, all of it's cash grabby in a way, but at the same time, they did make sure they made good stuff. Which is the best kind of cash grab. Weirdly scrap. Oh yeah, it is! Very similar to XCOM. That's the last of the Crusader squad done with dry brushing. I've gotten better with the dry brushing as we've gotten on. I got worse and then I got better. I'm gonna go worse again. By the way, if you're wondering why he's got a cape and stuff, it's because I think every single sword brother should have a cape. And the sergeants of Black Templar squads are all sword brothers. Oh gosh, I'm getting worse at this. Because sometimes the paint gets caught to the brush and then I can't get it off until I start brushing the model. Trying to think of mascots like shining characters. Don't know what Lying Cat is. The two off the top of my head is the Minions and Raymond's Rabbits. I would say Pokemon with Pikachu, but honestly, it's not really a thing because they didn't really have characters to outshine that much. I mean, the closest they had to outshine was Ash and Red, but they're not really. Pikachu was already popular before the TV show. And Red was never really a character. I guess he outshone the start to Pokemon. To a point where they gave him they remade the game with him as a starter Pokemon. Lying cat is a cat selectively bred to say lying instead of meow. It's to unnerve people in negotiations. What? Smurs are another example. They were from a French comic about knights and squires. Oh, I never knew that. That's actually pretty cool. Maybe the screw from Ice Age. But by the time they tried cash grabbing on it, it was way too late to cash grab on it. Weren't they Belgian? Maybe. In fact, the cartoon was never worse than when that Squire character was in it. And you hated him? I have never even knew any of this about that. I don't even know who the Squire character is. There's definitely mascot characters out there from popular franchises that just never caught on. Despite how much the companies try to push them. Like the aliens from Toy Story, the little alien toys. Because I remember seeing a bunch of stuff where they're kind of like trying to push for aliens and it never seemed to really catch on. Like the closest was for Buzz Lightyear TV show. I remember getting like the alien toys and stuff and being like, because they were basically just giving them away at one point. I was like, oh, I don't want this. And no one wants them. The joke about Pee-wee is that he's a bard that can't sing. He's terrible, so he sings terribly and you have to hear it and that's supposed to be funny. Oh. That's not very good. Okay, what else is there? Garfield? No, the comic is called Garfield. Frasier! Yeah, he was a character from Cheers. Or some, was it Cheers? And Frasier became like significantly more popular. The Simpsons. They were from the Tracy Ullman show. We're back full circle. We're back to The Simpsons. I'm trying to think. There's definitely something else out there that got its own spin-off show and it massively outdid the original show. He wasn't a mascot. Yeah, Smurfs of Belgium, my mistake. Oh, I never knew that. Oh, maybe I did. I actually kind of rings a bell. I swear there was something where it's a kind of mascot character got their own show. I can't remember what it is. Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, in a way. But that's just more of a show changed because of one game that was introduced. That's less mascot and more a game took over. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. More variety shows now that I think about it. Yeah, it makes sense that some variety shows would have some stuff that just becomes ridiculously popular and then exists outside of a variety show. But again, like Simpsons, I wouldn't say is a mascot of a Tracy Ullman show. Maybe it could be. Space Marines. No, they were always front and center of 40k. Even back during the Rogue Trader days, they were always the face. Of 40k. There's definitely a few spin-offs that outshone the original thing in both in film, gaming, TV and stuff. Like Warcraft becoming World of Warcraft. But that's not necessarily anything to do with mascots. Dang it, my message got eaten. Wolfo the dog outlasted a dog food ad campaign and the two 60s talk shows before the Muppet Show even aired. Oh! That's cool. This brush needs washing again. Paint's drying up inside it. Alamo! It was a regular segment on Jimmy Dean show for years and years. After that, a show called Our Place, and sadly both are mostly lost to media now. Aww. Lost media is sad. It makes sense though with stuff that told. Because a lot of stuff got destroyed in various fires, or just age. And then you have to, if you actually look at like the storage for old film, like really old stuff, they have these massive refrigerated warehouses, basically just to keep it. And it's very, very expensive. And because of how or more accurately, how little film actually kept on it, it takes up a hell of a lot of physical space, a relatively short amount of film. And when you got like episode upon episode upon episode, the existence of a VHS and recordings have saved a lot of shows, because VS tapes have managed to keep a relatively low quality recording, but nonetheless a recording of the shows. And every so often they are uncovered and they get added to archives and stuff around the world. Yeah, if you're really into lost media preservation, honestly, going into like old storage things and thrift shops and just trying to buy VHSs and stuff is, especially ones where he's just got recordings on. They would mostly just wipe tapes, yeah. A lot of places were very into the preserving of the media, or at least try to preserve like original copies and stuff, but it really depends on who, where you were, and whatever. I imagine things like news broadcast TV and, you know, these variety shows and stuff wouldn't necessarily be into trying to constantly sell new copies of things, so are rerunning episodes, so more or less likely to be recovered. John Constantine was originally a side character in the Swamp Thing comics. Oh, probably more. He is more popular than he's had a film about him. He's had a bunch of stuff about him. No one is friends with Constantine. No. Harlequin? Well, you can't say she's more popular. Harlequin's not more popular than Batman or the Joker or anything like that. I mean, right now she's probably a lot more popular than the original cartoon she appeared in. He is not very well attached to his leg there. That being said, Batman the animated series, is still considered one of the greatest TV shows of all time according to IMDb, and as a result is still relatively popular. Honestly though, it is a very beautiful show, at least for early seasons. And the films, oh my gosh. My first exposure, I think I've said this quite a few times on the channel, but I'll say it again because I love it. My first exposure to Batman was through the animated film with Mr. Freeze. And it made me fall in love with Batman and, you know, the entire thing. The entire show and comics and stuff. Such a great film. I watched it as an adult and was like, oh my gosh, this is even better than I remember. I don't know how that can be a thing. Interestingly, in his original Soulite comic, he aged in real time. He sold his soul to 3 different demons. Yeah, I've seen that clip. I hope people are trying to make Quinn an anti-hero. I don't know. I mean, saying she's an awful role model, yeah. I mean, heroes don't have to be good role models, though. I think that's kind of a point, that even when she's trying to be good, she's kind of terrible. Which, I mean, is a kind of thing that is relatable in real life. And plenty of people can get behind this idea of a character that's done lots of bad things, but is trying to redeem themselves and is having a very hard time doing it. I think that is a very good idea for a character, especially one that, you know, is manipulated, mentally tortured, has mental issues, yet is still trying to be a good person or trying to improve as a person. I think there's a lot to go for with that sort of character. Harley Quinn doesn't always do it super well, but I don't... And, I mean, even back in the days of the original cartoon, there was more than one episode that focused around her trying to improve herself as a person. So it's not new. Like, this dates back to the origins of Harley Quinn. Of this person who is absolutely crazy and goes through these kind of weird periods of trying to be good, trying to not caring anymore. Yeah, she's... I mean, that being said, Frank Grimes is a murderer. Deadpool is a murderer. Deadpool's killed a lot of innocent people because he's a mercenary. Then you've got what other characters do a lot of killing? Obviously, Batman and Superman generally don't, outside of a few comics and shows. But I mean, it doesn't mean that, you know, a bad guy can't try to do good things. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to forgive her for her actions. Harley was never was a bad person at the start, just a psychiatrist. She was a victim of Stockholm Syndrome. I think it was more than that. She was manipulated, gaslit. The thing is, though, is that she was aware of a lot of the bad stuff she's done. It kind of depends, for like, 'cause some of the shows and stuff, you see like flashbacks to half of the stuff she did, and she's just so out of her mind she doesn't even see half of the bad stuff that's really happening. She just sees Batman as a bad person getting in the way of her fun times and doesn't even recognize that she's hurting people. But then you get others where she's very aware of the bad stuff she's done, and now she'll continue doing bad stuff, just this time for good. I do find the different ways that they've tried, you know, approaching the character, and like, what would this character do and what would be redemption for them? Can they truly be redeemed? Or even if they do improve as a person, does that mean they have to be forgiven? I think the answer in most of them is no. She doesn't have to be forgiven. Yes, she can still be punished. But that doesn't stop her from trying to be a better person from now on. I checked out Gods and Monsters movie. The version of Batman is Kirk Langstrom, usually Man-Bat. He's a lot like Morbius. Morbin time! What would it take to redeem the Joker? Most of the time when they've done redeeming the Joker plots, the Joker has lost his memories. Or otherwise, he's like suffered such a great something occurred to him that completely reset him as a person. And even when he started to remember, some of them have, as soon as he starts to remember, he becomes bad. Other times, he starts to remember and he's like, I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm not that person. That's the only way that that's the only ways that I can think they've done trying to redeem the Joker. And even then, half of the time, he just reverts back to being the Joker. For only if actually if there is one, and it's that one where Batman is very heavily implied to kill Joker at the end. And that's where basically Joker is like, he doesn't even stop for Batman kind of thing. And I guess that in a way is a form of, not necessarily redemption, but, you know, is a character arc knowing that he can't move on from where he is now. But it doesn't necessarily mean he has to continue doing what he was doing. Which isn't redemption, but I think that's the thing, is a lot of these stories where villains try to do good or try to improve, it's not necessarily about them becoming, like, forgiven or truly redeemed. It's just about them trying to move on from where they are now and become better, which is relatable. Yeah, it's exaggerated. Most people aren't so bad that they'd have done anything like that, but they can still relate to a character that did do a lot of bad stuff and has done stuff they can't take back, even if none of it was necessarily illegal or anything. So I do think it's like kind of interesting. I think it's at least interesting to explore them and for various shows and comics and stuff. Some of them have done it well, some of them have been a bit crazy with it, some of them have done a bit of both. Like, I like the Harley Quinn show. I don't agree with a lot of what it does. I've not finished it, mind you. But I think it's a very interesting sort of thing, and the Harley Quinn character itself is quite interesting. That's the issue. If you don't give people a means of turning a new leaf, they won't. It's not just a redemption and punishment issue, it's a survival issue. Yeah. The great line of The Dark Knight Returns, how many people have I murdered by letting you live? Yeah. The thing about Batman, though, it's not that he, generally, Batman, it's not that he doesn't want to kill people or anything like that. It's the fact that he believes that if he's crossed that line even once, he will never come back from it. Never mind who it was for. Like, for him, there's no just kill the Joker. It's kill the Joker, and soon I'm going to start killing other villains. And after that, I'm going to start killing thugs. And after that, I'm going to start killing petty criminals. And after that, I'm going to start killing litterers. He's going to go full Night Lords on them. And they have explored that before. There have definitely been versions of Batman where he goes full Night Lord on people. In fact, the Bruce from, do you know, the Men of Steel was, I think they took a lot of inspiration from the Bruce that had been broken. You know, by the death of Jason Todd and stuff. And where he stopped caring about people anymore. And that's why he uses guns. And why he tortures and kills people. Because he's just at that point in his life where he stopped caring. And he has become kind of a villain in his own story. That being said, he wasn't to the same extent that some of the comics did. It was just kind of implied that he was at least getting very close to there. It becomes very weird because they never really touch on that in the film. It's just they take inspiration from that and then suddenly he's back to being good again. With no comeuppance. I love the White Knight comic line. Chat disconnected. Successfully reconnected. Yay! I love the White Knight comic line in Elseworlds story that did the best at redeeming the Joker. Oh, I don't know if I know that one. Joker's been given more chances than most. Yeah, Joker's been given a lot of chances. Sometimes he takes them in some of the stories. Sometimes the Joker seems to die and then he just comes back. I kind of like that. But then you get versions of Batman who is just literally a good person. He can't bring himself to kill anybody, not even the Joker. He knows it would be bad, but he's just too good of a person. That being said, the Joker that he faces usually isn't as bad as other Jokers. Sure, they hurt people and they kill some, but it's not to the same level that you see with other Joker comics. And usually putting him behind bars stops him for at least quite a while. And resets him. I think the animated TV series is more like that one. And the Joker there is a lot goofier. Far less, not just as villainous, but far less evil in his villainy. Far less brutal, much more family friendly. Although that being said, by the end of the show, he does have a much greater kill count, but by the end of the show as well, Bruce is much more that less kill because he can't bring himself to, more kill because if he does, he won't stop at one. He used to shoot villains before the comics code. Yick! Yeah, there's many different various reasons for his kill code. The two I like is that he's either too good of a person to ever do it, or he doesn't trust himself. My favourite version of he doesn't trust himself is actually the animated version, which some of the comics also do. Very rare though. And that's when he says to Superman, like, Superman is deep down a good person and deep down I'm not. And then Superman is like, you are a good person. And the entire thing is, he is a good person. He's just so self-hating and self-loathing that he doesn't trust himself. He doesn't think that the thoughts he has, even Superman has it from time to time. I like that. I have an idea for a period story of why Bat stopped using guns. It would be simply a story of him shooting the wrong guy and decides no more guns and killing afterwards. That would make a lot of sense. I think the reason for him to stop using guns was because of, the popularity of the comics amongst children. And the rising in gun crime in places like New York and stuff. Yeah. The Batman with Robert was not suffering along with the bad guy too. A lot of the DC Metal Multiverse storyline had different versions of bats that turned evil. Such as the Bat Who Laughs. Yeah, there's a lot of versions. And you've only got things like Owlman as well. But early Origins bats did outright shoot and kill people. Yeah, I mean, the original Batman, the original Superman was bold supervillain who went around lasering people. When you go that far back, it's basically not even Batman and Superman anymore. Batman the Animated Series, Joker still does domestic violence with Harley. Yeah, I mean, he does lots of stuff, like he poisons people, but usually his poisons make people laugh. It causes a massive inconvenience or gives him control of the city rather than outright killing people a lot of the time. I mean, he does eventually get to that point. The early bats did what is sadder, Joker saying, "Why aren't you laughing?" of a comedian saying, "Tell me what's funny." I don't think either's that sad. I always liked the Captain Marvel episode. I thought I was a Boy Scout. So did I until I met Captain Marvel. One thing Batman v Superman movie got right was how close Metropolis and Gotham are, which proves that Superman could help out a lot more than and just doesn't. I really liked the Batman and Superman versus Superman film. In part just because when you're watching the film, if you look into the background, there's just so many comic references there. I do feel like there's a lot of issues in the film, and I think the least of those issues is when he shouts Martha. Like, Martha is... I think people get... I think that what is one line that gets memmed on way too hard. Like, the entire film was leading up to this thing of Batman not viewing Superman as human. And that idea that he has a mother named Martha, which is the same name as his own mother, is just, like, humanizes Superman in Batman's eyes and forces him to, you know, accept all of the stuff he's been trying to ignore and push aside. Hated how they handled Doomsday. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind too much because I don't really care about Doomsday, but I can understand why lots of people were upset, especially Doomsday fans. The death of Superman, though, and all of that stuff was just really weird. But the original Justice League film sucked quite badly. The Snyder Cut was decent, but I wouldn't say it was great. At the moment, I'm kind of excited to have the Gunverse version of DC. I've not watched Peacemaker. I don't think Peacemaker's the kind of show for me, from all the clips I've seen. Well, not all of them. Some of them are like, oh, this looks like a cool show. Then others I'm like, oh, this looks like a terrible show. But I've heard it's very, very good. Need to watch Creature Commandos. But I'm excited just to have a more hopeful DC again. Maybe not all of it being hopeful, but, you know, Superman being a more hopeful character again would be really fun. There are too many characters in the Superman film, though. Like, my mother liked the original deal for Reeves Supermans. And she thought it was, you know, a bit hard to keep up with. And great for comic fans, but the average person isn't actually a comic fan. In his defense, Superman isn't human, and the way the fights in Men of Steel went down was very bad. Superman did more damage trying to save a city than Godzilla in his movie. Yeah. The modern Superman subversions are just full circles. I mean, it's true, but at the same time, I can kind of understand why Superman, you know, went that way. Like, when I didn't watch Man of Steel for a very long time because I heard it was done terribly. And when I eventually watched it, I was like, this isn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah, the city got smashed up, but there's not much else he could do. He could either stand around and do nothing, or he could try fighting these 4 people who are just as... Was it 3 or 4? 3? 4? He could fight these bunch of people who are just as powerful as he is, but far more trained and disciplined. The stupidest thing I found about that was, you know, when his father's like, don't save me. And it's like... No, just save him. Oh, for city getting destroyed, I can kind of buy because, you know, he's trying his best. He's just not good enough to stop it. some of the incidents, maybe. Either Red Sun. I've not read Red Sun, but I have watched the film that was inspired by it. Was it film or was it series? I think it was a film. Or was it series of films? Either way, it was very fun. I enjoyed that. I liked Superman in that. I thought it was a very interesting take on him. He's not exactly evil Superman. He's just different Superman. Oh, gosh. Metropolis and Gotham are both based partially in New York City. If I ran DC, I would have Bloodhaven, Gotham, Metropolis all be neighbors. Hoods in New York City, North Jersey, and Bed-Stuy for Bronx and Hell's Kitchen. I think how close the two of them are varies from depending on who's writing. Because sometimes DC and often DC and Metropolis, there we go, are neighbors, but not all the time. Wait, that's one of the reasons why Batman and Superman are kind of fast friends, because, you know, they're neighboring one another. Man of Steel was the best movie in pre-James Gunn DCEU, which is a low bar. I don't know, I liked Wonder Woman. It wasn't a perfect film by any means, but I think Wonder Woman was a better film. At least I enjoyed it a lot more. Wonder Woman, the sequel was meh. Very meh, and had some very questionable stuff that just made me, you know, enjoy it far less. Oh, I think the one thing that the Snyder films have an issue with is they're a bit all over they're incoherent. There's a lot of incoherency going on with them, as he wants all these like kind of cool scenes and a lot of symbolism within his films. And he films a lot and then it gets massively cut down because, you know, he films way too much. And the way it gets cut down almost always leads to the films feeling a bit like they're just going everywhere. And things sometimes just happen without much explanation because, you know, they had to cut about an hour of film away between these 2 points. Nowadays, the two cities are usually depicted as either side of a large bay on the East Coast. Oh, that's cool. You can tell that I take my DC content kind of piecemeal and all over the place. The first Aquaman and Wonder Woman was oh yeah, the first Aquaman film was pretty good. I didn't like as much as Wonder Woman. That's mostly just the main story. Wonder Woman had a much stronger main storyline to it, I feel. Aquaman's felt a lot weaker. As I was saying, G1 Bats had a pistol and offed people before 50s censorship had an idea or appeared for why he stopped using a pistol. Yeah. He offed the wrong guy. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I can speak Homer from The Simpsons. We're back to The Simpsons again. Oh my gosh, my stomach is being very upsetting right now. But, I mean, I wanted to get some contrast painting today. I kept taking breaks, kept getting distracted. Your fault. Definitely not my fault. But, yeah. We got the more dry brush stuff at the very least. On Friday, we'll be playing RimWorld. And what else will we be doing? I don't know. On Saturday and Sunday, we're doing more painting of these guys. I tried to get some of the other painting done for them, some of the contrasts. Because painting black can be quite boring. And quite intensive. Speaking of old comics, I knew that Johnny Storm Human Torch had tangled with the Asbestos Man. Yeah, but apparently they are both rehashes, are they? Oh yeah, because I was watching whatever his name is, the guy who does those silly cartoons, and they had the android flaming torch dude. The OG wasn't, yeah, the asbestos lady, and he was an android. I mean, honestly, if you had an asbestos-themed villain today, that would be pretty impressive. That would be a pretty scary villain. I am the asbestos lady, and I spread asbestos everywhere. But big love hearts to you all. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember to work hard, but play harder. Eat good food, sleep well, dream of cupcakes, but don't eat the cupcakes as friends, not food. I also take care of yourself, be kind to others, and vice versa. Bye-bye, everyone. Love you all. Whee! And don't forget to like the stream.